Okay, we're live, Leonard.
We are live, Leonard.
Okay.
Which is the microphone? My phone or yours?
Right here.
Okay. I just found out we're live, Leonard. It's a little early. Let's have a sound check when you get a chance. Anybody who could hear us, it would be delightful if we knew that you could hear us. So let us send us a little note. All right, if you could do that. And what are you up to this morning?
What am I up to? Well, I think today's a great day in baseball.
Why?
There was a great game by the Angels yesterday.
Oh, that was a great game. Would you rather go to a game that has 25 runs and the score is lopsided, or would you rather go to a 2-1 game? Which would you rather see? Game like that with just the ball flying out of the park, or a 2-1 pitcher's battle?
I think I would rather see all that hitting. You know, chicks dig the long ball.
Chicks dig the long ball?
That's what they say.
Oh, what a men dig. Okay. Eddie
I think
Heckman
they do
says
too.
the
I
sound
don't know.
is good.
We could ask the whole chat room.
All right, let's ask the chat room. Would you rather see a game like Colorado, or would you rather see a 2-1 game? What was the score in Colorado last night?
You know what? It was such a lame game that I don't remember the score.
Well,
that means it was probably 0-0 for the whole game.
It was a big game.
Anyway,
it was?
All right. Well, we're going to go over the game recaps.
Yeah, we'll go over the game recaps. But that game stands out as one of the most interesting games in a very, very long time. That's for sure.
I was watching MLB Quick Pitch, like I do in the morning.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
And I just discovered that there's a show on at 8 o'clock on MLB Network.
Yes.
Called MLB Network Breakdown. Okay. It's on the channel. We get the channel here in New York. I didn't get it when I lived on the West Coast on my cable, but we get it here.
Well, from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, we have a good morning from Eddie Heckman. We got a good morning from Boston Paul. Chris from Cambridge. Dad's a premier from the great state of New York. Daniel Ferrara. Danny Fuller.
Where does Dad a premier live?
He lives in New York.
Where, though? It's huge.
Yeah, I know. But and then, of course, you got Danny Fuller has made it into the main chat room. Congratulations.
Is he signed in?
Yeah, he signed in.
Right.
There you go. Eddie Heckman from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. James Caplion from the great state of Wisconsin. NFL chief, post-1958, Rotorius, S.M. King Turd, Tommy Johnson, and a cast of thousands. Arnie has made it in. Good morning, Arnie. There you go. There he is.
Wow. Came to talk some baseball.
Talking some baseball with Arnie, who did a premiere show on this network not that long ago. And Arnie, anytime you want to get that show back going, be my guest, okay? We're having a lot of fun, and we want you to... Pancho Jr. is there. Good morning to the great Pancho Jr. Okay,
So wait, can you just disregard what I'm talking about?
No, because I want to give out a question to the chat room first, okay? Here's a question for the chat room. Name the two active Major League players who faced the Montreal Expos in their career.
That would have to go back to when? 2000?
I don't know. A long time.
2000.
Name the only two Major League players that are still active who played against the Montreal Expos. Anybody want to give that one a shot? Go ahead,
They
Andy.
would have had to have been playing since 2004.
You've got the floor.
All right. I just want to tell everybody out there, this is not a paid advertisement. It's just something that when I find things that I think are great, knowledgeable tools out there, I like to share them with the chat room. And the MLB channel has a great show on Sunday mornings at 8 o'clock Eastern, and it's called it's at 7 Eastern, and it's called MLB Network Breakdown, and it had Mark DeRosa, who I love, Tom Verducci's on there. They were comparing Corbin Carroll to Mike Trout in his first rookie season. They were talking about quite a few things. They were saying that Corbin Carroll hits fastballs like crazy, and the pitchers are really smart not to throw him fastballs. They're very careful not to give him fastballs because the only hitter that hits fastballs better in baseball is Aaron Judge.
Okay, Aaron Judge. That's a familiar name. Go ahead.
Of course. You want to talk about Judge now, or should we wait?
No, I got a lot of stuff to say about Aaron Judge.
All right. So you in the chat room, name the two players that are still playing baseball who face the Montreal Expos. So the
Leonard
next
Donaldson is here.
Hello,
Good
Leonard.
morning.
Hello to everybody.
Oh, here's the thing about
we
Aaron
love having
Judge.
company on a Sunday.
Was anybody here yesterday? Anybody remember I asked the question, will Aaron Judge be out for the entire season? Well, that's because I knew something.
What'd you know?
I knew that Aaron Judge, there's a likelihood that Aaron Judge will be out for the entire year. For the first time, he told reporters he tore a ligament in his toe. Previously, he just said it was a sprain.
Okay, so when you say there's a high likelihood,
Yes.
my brain thinks different. So the first thing
Oh,
I
come
did
on.
when I saw Aaron Judge tore a ligament in his toe, the first thing I did, and I know I'm not an expert, a doctor, or any credentials here, but I have the capability of looking up how to fix a torn ligament in your toe, and I found out that there is a chance that they would have to do ligament reconstruction. So
Yes.
but for the most part, these torn ligaments will heal on their own. If they don't heal properly, the doctor can do ligament reconstruction by placing them back onto their bone in their anatomic position. Okay, they use a small anchor to attach the ligaments into the bone. So when they say, when I heard yesterday that he could need surgery on his toe, and I mean, you don't do surgery on broken toes. You just wait for them to heal and tape it to the next toe over. But now that we know that he tore a ligament, and he admitted it, there is a chance that he could need surgery. But Aaron Boone is like all but promising that he's going to be back before the end of the season.
All right, let me tell you the truth.
He said he can't guarantee that he'll be back because he can't guarantee that about anybody, but he does, as much as he could possibly push out there, that he is confident that Judge is going to come
All right,
back.
now pay attention, everybody, including you, Roto Lady, who did
It's not Botto, but it is Greinke. It's not Botto, but you got one of two.
It's
Don't tell.
Cabrera, he said, right?
Oh, somebody
said Cabrera.
Oh, okay, it's Greinke and Cabrera.
Greinke and Cabrera are the only two who have faced the Expo.
Now, what were you just saying? I cut you
I'm
off.
trying to tell you the truth.
About
which I was
what?
starting to tell you yesterday in the whole chat room.
What?
Have you seen the attendance for the Yankee games recently?
No, I didn't look.
40,000 for, the last, 6 games or something like that? 40,000, 42,000.
So they're getting a
44.
lot of fans.
Yeah.
Why
and
are the fans going? Just so they could boo?
because the moment they say that Aaron Judge is out for the season, the Yankees homestand attendance, 43 on the 20th of June, 43,130. On the 21st, 41. On the 22nd, 42, crazy, 44,000, 46,000.
Okay, so what's your point?
If Aaron Judge is announced out for the season, Bull Dinky, the ticket sales go down the tubes.
Oh.
And all the 40,000s now become 15 to 20,000s. That's the reason that the Yankees haven't made the announcement that Judge is out for the season.
Okay, so
And
we
they've
both have
tried-
opinions. You guys get all the information you can
Yep.
from here, and then you get to decide for yourself.
Ain't
Isn't
that
the
right,
beauty?
Arnie? Isn't that how it goes? Arnie, a lawyer, a real estate guy, whatever he is, a congressman, Arnie knows everything.
Arnie's
knows
he's
that
got
I'm
a good
right.
resume, Arnie.
Arnie knows that I'm right. It's all about attendance, right? All about attendance.
So
And
go ahead.
So-
I don't know.
based on that, if you're, I would pick up McKinney. You know, people are, Billy McKinney in his 13 games with the Yankees, batting .325, 3 homers, and has reached base safely in every game. He's hit in 12 out of 13. Yes, I think Billy McKinney is, what's his name? McKinney is going to be a player.
The Yankees' June team batting average is less than 200. It's 193. Their on-base percentage 254, and they've scored 60 runs, and all 3 of those rank last in the majors for the month of June. So despite the Cardinals making a run for the worst team, the Yankees are horrible this month. So I want to move on to the Cardinals now, if you
Well,
don't
wait
mind.
a second. NFL Chief is here. Laura is here. Leonard Dunn, King Hap. Good morning to you. Good morning to everybody. Methical has joined us. Big triple play. We have a tremendous crowd. All coming to see Arnie. All right, go ahead.
So the Cardinals are struggling. Arenado is coming out saying that he thinks that just a couple of adjustments to their play can put them back into contention. And I know, okay, as bad as the Cardinals are right now, and there's all kinds of things, there's only one team in the National League Central to have a positive run differential. Guess who it is?
Cardinals?
The Cubs.
Oh, yeah, the Cubs.
The Cubs have won 9 of their last 10, and I know Cincinnati is leading the Central Division right now, but I would like to go out on a limb here, okay, and say that the Cardinals, they're 9.5 games back from Cincinnati right now. I definitely don't think they're going to finish last in this division. And I think that by the end of the season, the Cincinnati run differential is negative 14 and the St. Louis Cardinals is negative 18. There's a lot of similarities in these two teams, except for the fact that the Cardinals just not seem to be able to win games. I mean, they're 4-6 in their last 10. The Cubbies are 9-1. I think the Cubbies are going to win this division.
But the Cardinals just took a hit. Jack Flaherty scratched from his scheduled start today because of hip tightness. That's what Oliver Marmol, the manager, says. He's been set to face the Cubs at London Stadium. He's made 15 starts. Now, let me ask you a question, okay?
Guest Jaybird 08 is new.
Guest Jaybird. Good morning to Guest Jaybird. London Stadium. If you were living in St. Louis, would you go to London to watch the Cub game against St. Louis?
If I lived in St. Louis,
Or
would I
Chicago.
go to London to see a game?
Would you get on a plane and go to London and watch the game?
It's not for Americans. It's for the people in London, okay?
For what
to enjoy
for?
it. To make the baseball globalist.
Oh, stop it. Well, make
It's
it what it is.
baseball without borders. That's what they call it. What do you want me to say?
It
It's
was
called
the best when
globalism.
we had 6 teams. You had rivalries. Forget the border bull dinky. Flaherty has been set to face the Cubs. He's 20.
What about this?
Go ahead.
There's nothing about Flaherty
And
out
don't
there.
hit me.
There's nothing about Flaherty out there, about anything, except for the fact that his hip is sore. I looked and looked. There's nothing I could find. When I try to find any kind of past injury history on him with his hip involved, I find nothing. But they're not saying anything about Flaherty, okay? It's still going to be determined what happens to him. But Jordan Hicks, okay, first of all, I made a trade with Boston Paul. I traded away Joe Musgrove for Giovanni Gallegos.
Yes, and that's not as bad.
Oh.
Now, I'm going to tell you a secret.
I'm going to tell you why I did it.
Last night she was crying. I said, "Are you feeling okay?" I thought she was sick.
It gives me hot flashes, okay?
And then she told me why. Because she made a stupid... I mean, look, Joe Musgrove.
Hold on a second.
You know he's going to have some good starts, so he had a good start.
He's had like 4 good starts
But
in
he's
a row.
had a good start.
Just a second.
Hicks was unavailable because of illness.
There's other reasons why
All right, go ahead.
that I did this trade, so I'd like to clarify
Good.
and
Well, you have
make
to
myself
defend
look
yourself?
less
You have
stupid.
to defend yourself?
Yes.
No,
Yes.
Musgrove was bound to have some good starts.
Okay, I have Ryan Helsley. This is an NL only league. Okay, I have Ryan Helsley out. Gallegos was getting saves. Even though St. Louis is a team that doesn't win any games, I still thought it would be a good idea to get Gallegos. Also, he was drafted in the 12th round, which means I get to keep him in the 11th round next year for the NL only. And Musgrove was drafted in the 5th round, so you can't keep him next year. Or the 4th round. So that's why I did it. But now I find out this ridiculous Jordan Hicks is getting saves every single day. 3 straight saves this week. You can't even rely on the Cardinals to get wins, much less, now Gallegos is their freaking number 3 in line for saves.
Well, the Cardinals are going to iron
And
that
Jordan
out.
Hicks, Gallegos had a chance yesterday because
Right.
Jordan Hicks is out with some kind of illness
Yeah.
that's sweeping through the clubhouse,
That's
apparently.
right. It's unavailable, held out of the lineup as he battles a cold. There's been a cold spreading through the clubhouse.
They don't
my
say COVID anymore.
No, they don't say COVID. They call it. Nolan Gorman was held out of the lineup
Yeah.
for the same cold. Okay, so there you go. So the Cardinals right now, and I agree. I think the Cardinals are too good not to be doing anything.
They just have
So-
too good of a system. They just have too good of a. They've always been really known as like one of the
Right.
best teams in baseball, the Cardinal way. You know what I mean? Like they have the roots, and I don't ever count them out. You can't count them out. If you're a Cubs fan, you know this. You can't count out the Cardinals, but they're doing horrible.
All right, there's
Lindor.
been. Wait a second. There has been. This is the second London series for Major League Baseball. Okay, name the only player in Major League history to play in both London series.
Why do they
This
say
is-
Major League history when there's only been two?
That's whatever it is. Okay.
Francisco Lindor's figured out how to hit. He was striking out huge in April, 25.6 strikeout rate. May to June, 21%. Now from June 4th on, he's only striking out 16%. There's a theory presented here, and the theory is that he didn't play with the pitch clock in the World Baseball Classic and needed time to adjust to it. That's not my theory. That's just a theory presented. So that's that. What about this balk yesterday on Ryan Stanek?
That was, you know what? I understand balks and they hurt the game. But
What
between
the hell? That was the winning run of the game, dude.
between Travis d'Arnaud stepping into the batter's box and getting a strike because I don't know what happened, didn't make it in time or whatever.
Well, maybe.
And then you call this balk on Stanek. It was called a balk, and the go-ahead run came home. First balk in the career of Ryan Stanek.
Well, you watch the replay. It's all over.
Don't take the game out of the player's hands.
You watch. You can't. What's it called when you go back and you overlook a play and you say, was it like if a run scored or if he's safe or out?
Right.
You can't do that for these
No,
situations.
you can't. Umpire's decision.
Even though this freaking balk call was a nightmare because it lost them the game. Okay, this balk
Unbelievable.
brought
Stupid.
home
Stupid.
the go-ahead run.
Stupid.
It's really bad. And Stanek and a couple managers, a whole bunch of people, I don't know a whole bunch, but I definitely know that there was some ejections over this because Ryan Stanek was freaking pissed off.
Yeah.
You would be too, right?
Oh,
you
gosh.
look at what happens to your stats over that. You just lost a winning run. You just lost the
Crazy
game. All right, Yuri Perez, Miami Marlin pitcher.
Yeah, Craig Mish told us that Perez will start today against the Pirates, start next weekend against Atlanta, and then
They could pause him for a breather and bring him back after the All-Star break. Now, this is important because we very much trust Craig Mish. He is definitely an insider in that. He knows what's going on inside that clubhouse, and he talks to everybody on the Marlins. We've talked about this a couple times about the Marlin rotation and them needing to give their pitchers some rest because they have a rotation of youngsters.
Yep.
And this just goes to our point even more. We're going to reiterate now, this guy is going to be rested. He is not going to.
yeah, they're going to try
And
to
they're
save his
going to
arm.
try to go to a 6-man rotation when they get Rogers back.
Yep.
No doubt about it. So maybe he'll get a start every 7 or 8 days, but they're not going to pitch him every 5 days anymore.
The
Maybe you
Angels,
should trade him if you're in a redraft
I
league.
would. Well, you probably should.
That's
right now.
why you listen to this show.
That's why you. Is that why?
Well, one of the
I
reasons.
thought they listened to the show to look at you.
No, that's just you. So you could get me to sit next to you.
The Angels are making their moves to hold on to Ohtani in some way, shape, or form.
Well, if you think that
Okay.
it's to hold on to Ohtani,
Yes.
I think look, Ohtani doesn't want to be on a team that loses. He wants a
that's why.
chance to win.
The Angels have traded away 3 pitching prospects, and
Yes.
they got Escobar, and now they got Moustakas.
Yeah.
What do you think that's all about?
Well,
It's about winning now.
Absolutely. And I looked at the Reds standing, or the Angels in the standings.
Yeah.
The Angel, of course, I copied the freaking AL Central onto my notes instead
right.
of the AL West.
Doesn't
but
matter. They acquired
they're
Mike
in second
Moustakas.
place. They're in second place right now behind the Rangers, which immediately makes me think of this situation with DeGrom. The Rangers have not fallen on their face since the news of DeGrom yet, but there is a chance that the clubhouse mentality could be shattered by the Rangers with this DeGrom news. And the Angels are right on their tail. Like,
Yeah.
the Angels are... the other day we asked about the most surprising team.
Yep.
Malpal said the Angels.
I say the Angels will win that Western Division. How's that?
What they did last night must have freaking turned DFS on its backside, dude. I mean, think of it. If you had Angels hitters on your DFS lineup last night, like freaking Mickey Moniak.
Okay, well,
They
let's
scored-
Roland Moniak. He was a very high draft pick.
He was an excellent
Number
last
one,
night.
I believe,
There's
Mickey Moniak.
There's 2 hitters that had 5 hits.
Yeah.
5 for
Hunter
5.
Renfroe and
Yeah.
Mickey Moniak. First Angels with a 5-hit game
in 5 years.
In 5 years. And then Moniak comes up to be the first Angel with a 5-hit game in 2 batters after he did it. But I'll tell you, Renfroe Moniak, 5th time since 1901 when Unholy Toledo was at that game. Team had 2 players go 5 for 5 or better in the same game. How about that?
So what about this? Ohtani only got 1 hit last night. 25 runs in that game. 21 runs in the 3rd and 4th inning combined. That's more innings. That's more runs in a 2-inning span in a game in Major League Baseball history. Okay?
Yep. And it's the 20th time in the last 50 years a team has scored 13 or more runs in a regular season inning. And the Angels have done those 13 runs in that span most of any other team. So the Angels are cooking. They scored 25 runs.
The Angels put up 23 runs in 4 innings. The Yankees put up 23 runs in the past 11 days.
Yeah, a little difference, right? So you think the Yankees... They're the only team in the modern era to score 20-plus runs over a span of 2 innings. They're the first team in history to score 25 runs in a game. But you're right, Ohtani got only 1 hit. Unbelievable. His plate appearance accounted for 25.9% of the Angels' outs. And
give the
how
guy
about
a break.
that?
He's still great.
Is he still great?
He's still a 10-tool player, Leonard.
Yes, he is. Go ahead.
Okay. The Braves and the Braves and the Reds. We could just talk this whole day about the Braves, the Reds, and the Angels.
Look at the Reds.
The Reds are great. The Braves are also great, though, so I want to just point out what the Braves are doing and why Cincinnati they were about to break a record. They already have the most consecutive wins in, I don't know how long, 35 years or something, maybe longer than that. I think it was 35 years that they had a cycle, and Ellie broke that the other day, but their consecutive win streak is crazy. They almost broke their all-time record with 13 wins last night. And the reason that they can't right now, I mean, you can't hold it against the Reds. The Braves, in the last 10 games, they've had 116 hits, 82 runs, 29 home runs, 11 stolen bases, and no other team in MLB history has put up all those numbers over a 10-game span.
Well, how about this? Think about this for a second. Everybody's talking about Ohtani, right? He wants to be with a good team. Everybody's talking about the Yankees. Everybody's talking about the Mets. What about Ohtani to the Braves? You want to talk about a good team who's locked up so many of their young players? Could you imagine now? If the Atlanta Braves went out, they have everything that Ohtani's looking for, a great young team, a winning team. Imagine Ohtani on this team. Don't think it's not possible, and when it happens, you remember.
They were talking about Ozzie Albies. He's Atlanta Brave.
Yeah.
They were talking about him on the Network Breakdown show this morning. They were showing him from both sides of the plate and just how good of a hitter this Ozzie Albies is becoming.
Yes, he is.
And he was really great in the minors. You know, it took him a little while to figure it out, but he's excellent. All right, Jordan Lyle.
Wait a second. Do you? I just got to ask you a question. Cincinnati had their glorious 12-game winning streak, the longest since 1957, came to an end. But do you think, Roto Lady, that this team is for real?
Yes.
I mean, they've gone through a tremendous time, but is this team for real?
Yes, and I'm telling you, what's it called when you start momentum? They
Yes.
have momentum.
Okay.
This team is exciting. They're excited to play the game. They're excellent. They're aggressive. They're young. They're fun. Absolutely.
Why were you
Why
talking
would
about
anybody?
Jordan?
I'm just waiting for the freaking vultures to start saying
Well,
that they're cheating.
So they're not cheating. They have so many young players that historically, the young players, they have a great sprint during the season, but then they settle in, they fall back, and they fall out of contention. I was just wondering what you think. I think Cincinnati does fall back.
I do not think that they win the division.
I think we've seen the best of the Reds.
No.
And yeah, I
They
mean,
could
I'm not
win
saying
the
they're
division.
not good.
Okay, fine. You made your guess, but
I think the Cardinals have a chance to catch them.
I don't know if they have a chance to catch up. They're 9.5 games out of first, but the Cubbies definitely have a chance to catch him.
Okay, talk about what, Jordan Lyles?
Oh, Jordan Lyles. Why do we even bring him up? He's definitely not fantasy relevant, but he was the first pitcher in Major League Baseball history to have his team lose his first 15 starts of the year, okay?
Yeah.
And then he goes up against the team with the best record in the baseball, and he beats them. It was his biggest... Listen to this. I forgot what I was going to say.
Good for you. That made it even better, okay? All right, can I talk about Ian Happ? He's now home.
Okay, yes. Tell Boston Paul that I don't feel so bad over by trading him Musgrove because he just traded away Ian Happ.
Oh, he did. He's homered 6 times off of Adam Wainwright, passing Joey Votto for the most home runs by any batter off of Wainwright. And so Ian Happ's a good player if he would steal more.
Okay.
All right, let's go to the Dodgers for a minute because Bobby Miller, first 27 career appearances, 2 runs, 14 hits, and then his next 5 2/3, 13 runs and 17 hits.
Well, they asked Dave Roberts.
Yeah.
I get him. They asked him about whether or not Bobby Miller and Emmett Sheehan have done enough to remain in the rotation when Urias gets back, and he said he thinks so.
I think so.
And he's also confident that Max Muncy will be activated on Tuesday in Colorado, and in the meantime, he's going to take more live at bats at Dodger Stadium. So
Okay, all right.
for those Muncy, Muncy's having a great season so far. You should have traded him before he got hurt.
Well, you talk about that. What about? Here's the other trade thing I want to talk about. Luis Giolito, okay?
I know.
The whole situation with Giolito, it's just, I think the White Sox still have a chance.
Of doing what?
Of contending in that division. I mean, you can't imagine Cleveland, they'll trade. I mean, Shane Bieber, everybody since day one has talked about Shane Bieber getting traded.
I do not agree with
If
that.
Shane Bieber gets traded, Lucas Giolito can't get traded. The White Sox can come in. He's been the best starter, and the team only has 2 starters under contract for next year.
According to some writer, they say that the White Sox have only 2 starters under contract next year, and they've already decided that they're not bringing Giolito back.
That's stupid.
That's a rumor.
It's a
Unless
rumor.
they've come out and said that to the public, which I don't.
No, they're
think
not
they
going to
did.
say that to the public.
Well, I don't trust these people.
You know why?
telling me
Nobody will buy tickets.
Oh, yeah.
It's all about, I mean, come on. Bottom line, Aaron Judge, Giolito, it's all about tickets.
I just don't trust
Tickets.
anybody that's an inside source that says that they've already decided they're not going to sign Giolito again. I mean, that would be a pretty horrible thing to tell your pitcher or to even give him any notion that that's the case. But he still is pitching very good, even
Yeah.
if they did can him. I doubt it.
3 quality starts and 4 outings in June. He just doesn't get a lot of run support. But I got to tell you, he is really pitching. Well, he's lined up for a start against the Angels next week. So let's see what happens. I really believe that Shane Bieber's going to get traded, but I can't believe.
I don't think he will. You just said why? Because the Cleveland. Why? How in the world are they going to trade Bieber and still win that division?
They're not going to win. You'll see. Cleveland,
Why do you think the White Sox can win, but the Cleveland can't win?
The White Sox have an abundance of talent.
Too bad
take
they
a
aren't
look at
acting
this.
talented.
Grandal, Berger, Robert Jr., and Vaughn. 15 of their last 16 home runs have been solo. But
Right,
they've been
and Giolito lost again because he got no run support.
But they've been hitting home runs. And Andrew Vaughn.
They hit solo homers because nobody can get on base.
You know, Andrew Vaughn is on pace for a 25-95 season.
That's great.
That's not
What is
so
that?
bad.
25 homers and 95 RBIs.
That's correct. All right.
Okay, I
You
never
wanna go
saw
to
that
the-
before. So.
You want to go to the games?
Yes, I do.
Or you want to talk about the Giants? It was
No, I
their
wanna talk about the
13th
games.
comeback win when trailing by multiple runs, surpassing their total from last year with 13. So the Giants
Come back. They're comebackers, right?
Okay, and what are you? Okay. All right. Great chat room once again. Poncho Jr. Sarah. Hey, look at this chat room. It's
SM
flying.
King Turd has been.
SM King
Hold on.
Turd going crazy.
SM,
Post.
hold on.
There's a mythical Laura.
Hello, Laura.
Leonard.
Nice to see you.
Johnny Garofalo just makes it in. Are
I
you
bet-
kidding me?
I bet-
Arnie is still with us. Way to go, Arnie.
Wait.
Way to hang in.
King Turd's been texting his buddy about how terrible Otani is to go 1 for 7 in a 26 run ever, and he should trade him to me. He says.
Yeah. Lots
That's
of
it. You tell your friend how horrible the player is, so you can get him to trade him to you, right? Does
Yeah.
that trick work?
No, but I'll tell you what. If you're ready to make trades, and you should be right now, you call up people, everybody in your league, and just congratulate them on a great season so far. That's all you do. Tell them a great season so far. Your team looks terrific. You don't talk. This is called the butter up, right? And you don't even talk about a trade. And then a couple of days later, you call back and I said, "Oh, I noticed you have so and so. I have an interest in him. Who do you like on my
Poncho
team?"
Jr., big Sox fan, you know.
Yeah, that's right. He is.
That's a good ballpark.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go. Ian Happ, 2 solo home runs. Justin Steele struck out 8, and the Cubbies beat the Cardinals 9-1 yesterday in London. You know, they actually they changed the ballpark over there. Because last year when the Red Sox Yankees went over there, the balls were flying out like crazy, just like what happened to them when they went south this year. Where did they go? They went to Mexico.
I know. They had 54,000 people.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you kidding me?
And they love the Cubbies there.
Good. The Cubs have more hits than swings and misses.
They love
All
the
right.
Cubbies. The Cubbies.
All right. But St. Louis is last in the National League Central, 31-45. Lost his second straight following a 4-game winning streak.
I know.
But Ian Happ was good.
Wainwright was not good yesterday. He was pulled after back-to-back doubles, 11 hits, one short of his whole career high, and a season-high 7 runs in the shortest outing of his 9 starts this season.
Okay.
So there was a lot of fans in the stadium yesterday. But Happ entered the... And I will say, Boston didn't trade Happ. He benched Happ. So
Yeah, I know.
made a
King Happ
mistake.
has been benched also, by the way, but I would never trade him either. All right. Steele allowed 5
Hold on.
hits and 6. Wait a
So they
second.
pushed the wall back 7 feet
Okay.
because of what happened last year, and there was still a lot of scoring going on,
Well, Dansby Swanson hit a 2-run homer with 2 outs in the ninth.
which means he was back in the lineup. By the way,
Christopher Morel had 3 hits on his 24th birthday, and Nick Madrigal was 2 for 4.
and Jordan Walker continues to have the longest active hitting streak at 14 games.
Yep. The Goldschmidt became the first big leaguer to play a regular season game in 5 countries. By the way, the only player who has played in both is Tauchman. Tauchman. I forget what team he's on now. But he's the only one to play in both London series.
Okay. All right. Tonight you get to see Marcus Stroman against, well, we don't know yet because Jack Flaherty was.
Okay.
Did they call someone up to replace Flaherty or what's going on? We don't know who's starting.
They don't know who's starting tonight yet for the Cardinals.
All right.
Luis Matos.
Yeah.
I love him.
Why?
Because he just looks good. He could run. He could hit for power. He hit the go-ahead 2-run drive in the 6th, giving the Giants their biggest moment as they beat Arizona 7-6, 12th win in 13 games for the Giants.
Jock Peterson and Blake Sabol added 2 hits each
You had San Francisco win its 2nd straight.
against Arizona.
I'll tell you, Arizona-San Francisco turning out to be a huge rivalry.
Yes, over there it's a big.
A game and a half back.
Competition.
But this kid Matos was the team's number 4 prospect when he was called up in the middle of June. He scored at least once in 7 of the 10 games he's played in since batting primarily in the middle of the order. Saturday he batted ninth, but still tremendous job.
The point is, he scored at least once in 7 of the 10 games he's played, and he did hit ninth. But I think that if he continues to hit well, they'll keep him up at the top couple. I don't know. They'll keep him in the middle. Okay. Christian Walker extended his hitting streak to 9 games. He had 3 hits and 3 RBIs. Ketel Marte had his 13th home run and 2 RBIs. And Arizona is the only team in the majors to avoid getting shut out this season so far.
Tyler Rogers, the 5th of 7 Giant pitchers, picked up the win. Camilo Doval struck out.
God, is he a good
Smith
closer
swinging.
or what?
Got his 22nd save.
He is great.
Yes, he is.
He was not that expensive either.
He's a good hitter.
All right.
Pitcher.
So Merrill Kelly came in tied for the National League lead in wins. He suffered his first loss in 8 road starts this season. He allowed 10 hits and 7 runs. Only 5 of those were earned in 5 innings.
Ketel Marte's 13th home run off of Ryan Walker, but San Francisco scored a pair of unearned runs in the bottom to go up 2-1. And I got to tell you something, Walker, working as San Francisco's opener.
He is their opener.
For the 3rd time in 6 games.
Yes.
Okay?
So that's good. Optioned Dalton Guthrie, so shortstop for the Giants. They optioned him to AAA. That matters to me because I have him on a team.
Oh, you do have?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I think it matters to you people. Anyway, tonight you get to see Ryan Nelson and Anthony DeSclafani, who is looking for his first win since May 29th.
Okay, let's go Mets now. Jim Bowden says that the Mets should trade Verlander and Scherzer at this point.
Give me a break.
What do you think?
First of all, good luck trading these guys with their freaking contracts, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Who the hell is going to take those contracts for these guys?
I
mean, there's no possible... I'm sorry, Bowden. I disagree with you on this one.
Well, everybody does, including the New York... there's an article about how the Mets are going to make trades taking on salaries. They're going to take on guys like... It's possible. Now listen to this. It's possible if the Mets can get a good player, they will take on the salary of Steven Strasburg. Yes.
What?
As one of Patrick Corbin.
Who the heck?
Steven Strasburg.
You're out of your
yes.
mind. Where do these people come up with this shit?
They will, because the Mets don't want to give up any prospects.
So they're going to take on Strasburg?
They're going to take on big contracts. There's other pitchers too.
They might as well put you on their freaking payroll.
If they want to pay me, that's fine. But I'm just using Strasburg as an example.
Oh, you made that up?
No, it's an example. It was in the article I read that they would take, Strasburg was one, Patrick Corbin's another, to take high-priced players rather than give up a prospect. They will take high-priced players off of teams' rosters.
It's not an addition to get rid of Scherzer and Verlander. It's not like you're adding by subtracting. I'm sorry, but Scherzer struck out 8 over 6 innings yesterday. So good luck. I mean, why would they want to get rid of... They might not be the pitchers that they used to be, but good grief, they're still decent pitchers. Verlander's having a crappy year, but...
Yep. Okay.
Anyway, Starling Marte homered. Both the Martes homered yesterday. Both teams, these 2 teams have gone in totally different direction. The Phillies in June are 14-5, and the Mets were 4-14 heading into this game in June. But the Mets did hold on yesterday, and Scherzer hasn't lost a start since May 8th, and he remained the one pitcher for the Mets that is guaranteed to give them a chance to win every start. And Verducci was trying to say on that show I was watching that hitters have figured out Scherzer's slider, that in the month of June his slider has been horrible.
Okay.
But he doesn't have to use his slider, so it's really not that bad.
Okay.
And
Robertson got his 11th save, 13th
Yeah.
save? Robertson got the save.
Castellanos went 3 for 3 and he homered.
And by the way,
walked.
Scherzer hasn't lost a start since May 8th.
Yes.
Okay, so
Right? That's
he's
what I
still
said.
pitching well.
The Phillies entered yesterday with just 78 home runs overall. They're 21st in baseball.
Okay.
So we have a couple of injury. Jeff McNeil didn't play. But Alonso is back, I see. How long has he been back? I probably shouldn't ask that question. It makes me sound like I don't pay attention.
Yeah, no, you pay attention. He's been back. Danny Mendick played his first game. And Zach Wheeler goes against Carlos Carrasco. Bet your money on the Phillies. Go.
Yes, and Zach Wheeler. All right, Ryan McKenna hit a 2-run homer in the bottom of the 10th to give the Orioles a 6-4 victory over the Mariners, Eddie. So McKenna actually came in to replace Santander in right field. They were trying to protect a 1-run lead at the time. Then Mike Ford hit a home run, and that tied up the game.
Yeah,
so.
he hit 2 for Seattle. A homer twice. Crawford and Rodriguez hit solo shots. Santander had 4 hits. What about Aaron Hicks?
He went deep again.
Aaron Hicks. So the Yankees with Hicks and Sanchez. All right, 2 players that they got rid of. Unbelievable.
Yeah, making a difference on their new teams for sure.
Yep, and Cedric Mullins was back from a groin strain, but Hicks made an impressive bid to stay in the lineup.
Yeah, what are they going to do with Hicks?
Well, he started in center field. Mullins was the DH.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see how long that works out.
All right, well, Dean Kremer allowed 3 runs, 5 hits in 7 innings. And I don't know what else.
Well, Hicks was released after hitting 188
for the Yankees.
Yeah, in 28 games.
Right, but now he's crushing
the ball.
Okay. So Crawford returned from a bruised shoulder after missing 3 games for the Mariners, and Mullins went 0 for 4 with a walk in his first game since May 29th. And tonight you get to see Kyle Bradish against George Kirby. Kirby has 75 strikeouts and only 6 walks on the season. You know, going into the season, there was a lot of questions comparing Logan Gilbert against George Kirby, and it was a good discussion to have. And one of the best assets of Kirby that we've all known from the beginning is that he hardly ever walks anybody.
Right.
Even though he only has 1 pitch. That's great.
Okay.
So I don't know if that will catch up to him or not, but you don't see a lot of starters getting by with just 1 pitch.
It was 2 out in the 9th inning. A game-ending pop-up. Marcus Semien popped up, and Clay Holmes stranded a pair of runners.
The Yankees beat the Rangers.
And McKinney hit his 4th home. I'm telling you, pick him up. He's reached base in all 15 games with the Yankees. And Severino got a haircut.
Yeah, he 5 hits in 6 innings. That was okay. Severino was very happy when he saw Marinaccio. Did he get a save yesterday, Marinaccio? Or maybe he got the win.
Don't know.
Anyway, he was happy with his new haircut.
Yankees are hitting 191 in June.
Yeah.
They have 61 runs in 19 games. 11-6 with Judd on the injured list. I got to tell you, they cannot announce Judge out for the season. The tickets will go from 42,000 down to 15,000.
I doubt it, Leonard. It's Yankee Stadium.
You will see.
Severino entered yesterday with a 9.16 ERA in his previous 4 starts, and he got his first win since he returned from right lat strain, and he struck out 4 and he walked 2. But his velocity was up a little bit, 97.2 average fastball velocity, so that's a good sign. And guess what? The New York Yankees...
Guess what? You don't give me a chance to guess.
Guess what?
Go ahead.
The Yankees bullpen is the best in baseball.
Yes, it is.
Can you believe that? It was Marinaccio.
Okay.
Second save.
Semien hit 3 of Texas' 8 hits. He entered the at-bat hitting .403 with runners in scoring position. All
right. The Rangers went 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position and stranded 10 runners, and Gray allowed 1 run and 3 hits in 5 innings.
And Giancarlo Stanton was dropped to 5th for the He was 0 for 20, so they dropped him to the 5th spot. I don't know. Do you think that means anything when a player gets moved? I know
they were booing him yesterday.
Well,
at Yankee
when
Stadium.
I played, when I batted leadoff, I was a different hitter from when I batted third. But I don't know about 3rd to 5th. No, I batted different when I batted leadoff.
How? That doesn't make sense.
I don't know. I tried to get on base more when batting third. I tried to hit the long ball.
Well, he's being punished.
Mentally, it was a little different.
He's pushed down the batting order, and the Yankees fans are booing him. So there you go on that.
Nate Eovaldi goes against Garrett Cole. How about that?
All right. Vladdy Jr. and Danny Jansen each hit 2-run homers. Jose Barrios is having a good season.
Yes, he
it's
is.
finally about time. He pitched 6 innings to win for the third time in 4 starts. The Blue Jays beat the A's 7-3. That was only Guerrero's second home run at home this season.
Yeah, 32 games without hitting a home run.
Yeah. So, and also he's hitting it. It was the 18th time in his career that he hit home runs in consecutive games.
Okay.
So he's batting .282, and he's actually leading the Blue Jays with 48 RBIs. So I understand the frustration with Vladdy this year, but if he starts hitting home runs at home, watch out.
And after winning Friday to snap an 8-game losing streak, Oakland lost for the 9th time in 10 games. They have a 20-50. Which team is
Stop
worse?
bagging on the A's. I'm sick and tired of bagging on
all
the
right,
A's.
let's bag on. What team is worse, Oakland or Washington?
The Washington beat the Padres yesterday.
Oh, Oakland, okay. Has the Major League
Maybe,
worst record.
I don't know, but I'm sick of the Padres losing too. Anyway.
And they've only won back-to-back games twice this season. But Barrios, as you said,
listen to his record, 8-3 with the 2.74 ERA in his past 14 starts.
Jordan Romano came in and struck out Ryan and Noda, get his 23rd save, and Toronto was won 9 of its past 11 home meetings, and Oakland changed up its pitching plans.
This
they
Fujinami is horrible.
He's not too good.
He's horrible.
He's not a Kikuchi. Let's put it
They
that
finally
way.
demoted him from starter now. He's an opener, which isn't helping him. He still allowed 4 runs and 5 hits in 4 innings, so this guy is just a freaking ERA machine.
Seth Brown hit a solo homer of Barrios, his 5th, and away we go. As far as anything else, the Blue Jays have won 21 of Barrios' past 24 starts in Toronto. So anytime Barrios is pitching at home,
Danny Jansen hit his 10th.
he's a good hitter. So
Yeah.
Barrios is 23 saves before the All-Star break.
Not saves. That's Romano. I mean, you said Barrios, but you meant Romano.
Yeah, I meant Romano's 23 saves. Second most. Remember B.J. Ryan?
Yes.
Well, he had 24.
Guess who pitches
In
tonight?
2006.
I'm just going to give you a random guess. Guess who pitches?
Kikuchi against Medina. Go.
All right. The Atlanta game against the Reds, a home run giant yesterday. The Cincinnati Reds were down 3 runs in the 9th. They got a 1-out solo homer from Jake Fraley and another one from Will Benson off Rysel Iglesias, but they did not win yesterday. It was still a game that came down to the wire. And when you're playing a team like Atlanta,
Yep.
I mean, I think this matchup is just the perfect timing for the perfect
yes,
teams.
very entertaining. And Iglesias struck out McLean, struck out India. So each team homered 4 times. Matt Olson, he is an MVP. Matt Olson is an MVP.
Well, it was his 200th career yesterday.
That's right. Travis d'Arnaud, Ozzie Albies went deep off a Graham Ashcraft carrier who allowed 3 home runs for the first time in 33 starts. Marcelo Ozuna
Stupid Marcelo Zuna.
homered against Alex Young. What? McLean and Steer hit 2-run homers for the Reds.
I'm so annoyed at
Fraley
myself.
homered for the 3rd straight game. 3rd straight game.
Was I more stupid for dropping Francisco Alvarez or
Stop that.
I know.
Yes, that you was stupid.
Alvarez or Ozuna? I dropped both of these players at the beginning of the season.
I can give you Ozuna. But
What's Francisco Alvarez doing lately? Has anybody checked on him?
Not much. Okay?
Right.
But Cincinnati drew 43,000
For the second game in a row. That was their first
Unbelievable.
consecutive full capacity sellout since 2016 when Pete Rose's number was retired.
Ashcraft made his first start since he was hit by a comebacker at the beginning of June, and he pitched pretty well. Ozuna's 7th inning homer, 15th of the season, 13th
goodness.
since the start of May when you dropped him.
Stop screeching.
Sorry. Sean Murphy is expected to start tonight behind the plate. And
Yeah, he's going to start behind the plate for the first time in a week tonight. Sean Murphy's back. That's
Okay,
great.
keep it going.
Tonight you get to see...
hey, wait a second. Thanks for everybody for hanging in the chat room. So good to see Danny Fuller where he belongs. Merrill is here.
Hello, Merrill.
Good morning to everybody.
Rotorius triple play.
Great to see everybody.
Everybody.
Go ahead.
Is Laura still here?
Laura's still here. Laura's here. We have to invite Laura for dinner.
She's going to go to a Mets game with me.
That's right. Elvis Andrus is staying optimistic for the White Sox. Provided a big lift. He had a game-ending single. The White Sox beat Kenley Jansen and the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah, Luis Robert, did you already say this?
No.
Andrew Vaughn, Yasmani Grandal, and Jake Berger all homered. And the White Sox came into the game having dropped 9 of their last 12. But Lance Lynn, another good start, struck out 7 in 5 2/3.
Christian Casas hit a 2-run homer for Boston. He's starting to come on. Boston had won 7 of 9. Rafael Devers, 2 hits, walked twice. Christian Arroyo had a sac fly. But James Paxton, 4 innings of 1-run ball, and then he left the game because of a right knee soreness.
Yeah, he says he's probably going to be fine for his next turn in the rotation.
Yeah, good luck.
But he said that this knee issue flared up in his last start on Monday, so he's got some reoccurring pain in his knee.
And Jaron Durant singled with 2 outs, swiped second for the 3rd time in the game. 14 steals and 15 attempts this year.
So Yohan Moncada's pissed off.
Really? What?
He ran on Friday and fielded ground balls yesterday, but Greifel says that he's still not even close to 100%, and he's very frustrated because he wants to be a part of the game. He's been hurt his entire career. He should be used to it by now, right?
Casas hit his 9th homer. Yeah, Moncada. Yeah.
For crying out loud.
That's the word called frustration. Good. And you talked about Lyles.
Yeah, Buxton hurt again.
Is Buxton hurt again?
Yeah, we got it in here.
Oh, is Buxton hurt again?
Yes, we got it in here.
Okay. Lyles. Buxton is hurt again, huh?
Yeah.
Anyway, Lyles ended his 15-game winless streak.
And it's not just one thing. It's some. We'll talk about Buxton when we get to
Kansas
Minnesota.
City beat Tampa 9-4. This could be the biggest upset. Tampa is starting to fade. You got that? Tampa is starting to
Well, they
fade.
can afford it.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll see what
they
happens
can afford
there.
some fades.
They're 5-7 over their last 12 games, including 2 losses to Oakland. And Wander Franco is back.
Yeah, he's back.
He was benched
He was
for
being
2.
punished.
Yeah, being punished.
But he hit a home run.
I'm going to talk about Drew.
He hit a home run on his
know.
first day back from punishment.
I'm going to talk about Drew Waters a little bit tomorrow. If you get a chance, pick him up, okay?
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. Chirinos allowed 8 runs and 9 hits in 5 1/3. So Salvador Perez, who left Friday's game with a right hamstring cramp, he was the DH yesterday, and he went 0 for 4 with a walk. So at least he's playing in the game, right?
Yes, he is.
Now, Ryan Yarbrough, he got hit. He got facial fractures. He was scheduled to make his second rehab start last night for AAA. And Shane McClanahan had his next start pushed back to Wednesday. Okay, from Wednesday to Friday. But he did throw for 5 minutes in the outfield. It's 5 minutes. What the hell?
It's
5 minutes?
throwing.
How
Yeah,
many
he's
throws
throwing.
can you get in 5 minutes?
I don't know. Tanner Beebe struck out 7. He was throwing yesterday. I like this guy, Beebe.
Freaking 5 minutes McClanahan threw.
Cleveland beat Milwaukee 4-2. Beebe worked 6 innings, 2 runs in his 11th start since he was recalled at the end of April.
Yeah.
Emmanuel Clase earned his Major League Baseball high save, 23.
Well, he should, because he was drafted way too early in drafts. At least he's doing his thing. He's got 23 saved now.
Was Christian Yelich drafted too late?
No.
He scored both runs and stole the base.
Whoop-de freaking do.
Whoop-de
Did he hit the
freaking
ball
do.
up the ground?
No, I don't think he did. No. Brandon Woodruff, who was on the 60-day injured list, threw before a game, so
Yes.
that's good news for Brandon Woodruff. Corbin
That was
Burns.
the first time he's thrown since April 7th. So.
Corbin Burns goes against Aaron Savali.
Will Brennan saw action as a defensive replacement. He missed the previous 2 games. He landed hard on his left side Wednesday while making a diving catch, but he is getting in the game. And let's talk about Pittsburgh and Florida.
Go, baby, go.
John Birdie drove in the winning run single in the 11th inning, and the Marlins beat the Pirates 4-3.
And Luis Arraez homered and walked twice. How about that one?
Yeah.
How about that one?
Whatever, his freaking batting average went down.
They had the second largest home crowd of almost 25,000. He's batting, Araz batting 401.
Yeah, he went 1 for 3.
Okay.
And his batting average still went down. That's how good he's been hitting.
McCutchen doubled twice and had 3 walks. McCutchen's first double was his 400th of his career. Brian Hoeing. Hoeing through 5 no hit. I'm not too sure. Is he fantasy relevant?
Yeah, dude. Listen to this.
Yeah.
Well, he was promoted from the minors on April 25th, and he's been doing both starter and reliever. He walked 3 and struck out 2, and he was pulled. He had a season high 65 pitches. Do I think that he's fantasy relevant?
That's what I asked.
Well, he threw 5 no-hit innings yesterday. So, yes,
Okay.
I do think it's time to consider him a fantasy-relevant starter because he can get 5 innings. But, they don't qualify for the win if they don't throw 5. So, I think he's stretched out now.
Astros against the Dodgers. James Outman scored.
Osvaldo Bido gave up 2 runs, 9 hits, and struck out 5 in 5 and 2/3. What?
My game now?
G-Man Choi?
No, Astros and the Dodgers.
Well, don't you? Okay.
What?
Go ahead.
What?
Yeah, go ahead. Do it.
Yeah, we talked about Stanek and that crazy balk. Altman scored the go-ahead run on that balk, which you got to see it. You got to see. No way I can describe it. Take a look at it. Punch it up.
Evan Phillips got his 10th
Crazy.
save.
And Junior Valentine called the ball. He was a second baseman. I got to tell you,
he was a second base umpire.
After the last out, are you kidding? Stanek went crazy.
He was pissed.
Not at the home plate umpire, but the second base.
That's because that's who called it.
Yeah, I didn't realize that as I was watching. His
sorry.
right leg appeared to flinch after he looked for the pitch. I don't know.
The Dodgers hate the Astros because of their cheating, and they keep yelling, cheater, cheater. I swear there's 50,000 fans in the stand yesterday, and they were yelling cheater when Bregman and Altuve come up to the plate, and both of them got their rewards yesterday because Bregman hit his 6th career grand slam and gave Houston the lead, and Altuve got some hits too. So no matter how hard they're yelling cheater, they're still hitting the ball.
Evan Phillips got his 10th save. Alec Bregman wound up hitting a grand slam to Booze, okay?
Yeah, Miller did not have a good outing for the second straight.
Yep, not
Hayward,
good at all.
380-foot homer. Muncy, we talked to you about him already. And Chris Taylor was not in the lineup for the 6th straight game. He was hurt running the bases a week ago, but he was available off the bench. And tonight you get to see Hunter Brown against Tony Gonsolin.
And Noah Syndergaard threw a 3-inning simulated game, but will not come off the injured list anytime soon.
Tigers beat the Twins 3-2 yesterday. Reese Olson picked up his first major league win, 1 run, 4 hits, a career high 9 strikeouts, and 1 walk in 5 1/3. And Alex Lang, he pitched an inning and a half. He got his 12th save in 14 attempts. Pablo Lopez, 3 runs and 7 hits in 6 innings. Carlos Correa and Joey Gallo both hit home runs. Now, Buxton is 0 for 21 against the Tigers this season, but he's been excellent against the Tigers in all of his other seasons. And, well, this is since the start of last season. He has been horrible against the Tigers. He left after his at-bat.
He left. Buxton left the game. Oh, my gosh.
Buxton left the game because of back spasms. And Rocco Baldelli says that his back spasms are an issue that he's been dealing with all season.
Yeah, his whole life.
Holy moly.
Gallo homered with 2 outs in the 7th. Donovan Solano. Lang struck out Royce Lewis with a curveball. End of that game. So
Lorenzen goes against Bailey over tonight. Now, the freaking Nats beat the Padres yesterday, 2-0.
Candelario, he's another one who could be on the trading block. Go ahead.
He homered. Lane Thomas homered. Josiah Gray pitched into the 6th inning. Hunter Harvey got his 5th save. Matt Waldron was promoted yesterday to make a start for the Padres. He's the first knuckleballer to come up in quite a while. He lasted 4 2/3, giving up 2 runs and 4 hits.
Michael Wacha skipped his scheduled turn in the rotation, and that's
Bob Melvin says that he's going to avoid a stint on the injured list and should return for his next turn in the rotation.
And now the big game.
Mackenzie Gore and Lugo go up tonight.
The big game. Trout, Drury, Matt Thaiss hit homers.
Everybody hit a homer.
On consecutive pitches. The Angels set a franchise mark for hits, 20, the whole thing.
I know. We already really talked about a lot of this.
Yes, we did.
But the Angels, I just want to reiterate, they scored 21 runs on 17 hits in the third and fourth innings combined. 27 batters went to the plate between the third and fourth inning. That's crazy. We could go, I mean, it'd be easier to tell you who didn't get a hit, which Ohtani did not.
Okay, but
Do
here's
good.
the big story of the game. You get to write this down. Chris Bryant took batting practice. C.J. Cron had a single and a sacrifice fly, hit by a pitch, 3 plate appearances as a DH in the Arizona Complex League. And there you go.
But the Rockies have not decided if a rehab assignment will be necessary for Cron.
Okay, what a thank you to Big Al, Boston Paul.
There's no timeline for Chris Bryant to come back.
Chris from Cambridge, he's back. Chris Gallo is here. Eddie Heckman, James Caplion, King Happ, Laura, Leonard Donaldson, Merrill Mitchell, NFL Chief Pancho Jr. Whoa! We got post 1958, one of the greatest of all time. Rotorius, King Happ. I said him.
King Turd.
King Turd. Happ Turd. Same thing. All right. Jay Bird. Nice to see you in the chat room. And of course, who was here before?
It was Jaybird. Oh,
No,
wait.
who was here before? Earlier in the show.
I have no idea, Leonard.
I forgot. But he was, I remember he did
Boston Paul?
No, he did a
Oh,
show.
Arnie.
Oh, yeah, and Arnie was here. Thank you all for coming in. I'll be back tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Thanks, everybody.